Okay, so on the other page, we learned that the absolute value of 4 and negative 4 are the same. So that means if I did this, if I started with the most basic of absolute values, this number could be negative 4 or 4. So we would set it up as x equals 4, x equals negative 4, and that would be our answer. Because we know that the distance 4 is away from 0 is 4. The distance negative 4 is away from 0 is 4. So this has two answers. So when we go to solve an absolute value equation, it's going to have two answers. Because you guys remember that inside this absolute value, you can have a negative number or a positive number. Now this only works for absolute value. It only works for when you have these bars. So remember, we're going to solve what's inside. So this could be negative. So let's do 2a and I can show you. Remember, please stop the video if you have questions. I know you can see the shadow because I'm in my office with a light. Okay, so we're going to do 2a. So if you look at case 1 and case 2, they set it up a equals b, a equals negative b, just like I did this. So we're going to take 2a and we're going to do that. So I'm going to invoke the symmetric property because I want my absolute value to be on the left-hand side. So I'm going to do 2a up here. So I'm going to write x plus 12. The absolute value of x plus 12 equals 9. So I'm going to separate this. X plus 12 equals 9, so the original one. But remember, inside, it's not x. It's inside could be negative 9, so we're going to say that x plus 12 could equal a negative 9 as well. Remember, you guys, the inside could either be positive or negative. It's not just x. So now what we're going to do is we're going to solve two equations. You guys, you only solve two equations for absolute value. We're going to subtract 12 because that's being added. Cross this out. X equals, 9 minus 12 is negative 3. Now I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to subtract 12. X equals negative 21. So both of those could be answers. So let's check it. Remember, you should always check your solution. So I'm going to check it. Watch this. Absolute value, I'm going to plug in negative 3 plus 12. And then I'm going to plug in negative 21 plus 12. You guys, it's really important that you check these. If you check them, you will always get them correct. Well, if you have your calculator, which I'm sure you do, nothing's wrong with that. Negative 3 plus 12 is 9. Negative 21 plus 12, do that in your calculator, is negative 9. So let's make sure this is true. Is the absolute value of 9 9? Is the distance of 9 away from 0 9? Yes. Is the distance of negative 9? Is the absolute value of negative 9 9? Yes. So our final answers are negative 3 and negative 21. So that is our final answer for 2A. You know that I'm going to have to make another video, right? Because I talked too long. But I just want to make sure that you understand it, okay? So let's try 2B. What do you think we need to do? So stop and think. Before I write, maybe pause it. Maybe pause my video and see if you can set this one up. Okay? So I'm going to continue. I want you to pause the video, and then I'm going to set it up. You know that I'm going to rewrite the problem, so it's y plus 5 equals 8. Do you have to? Of course you don't have to. I do because I like my variable on the left-hand side. I'm looking for two answers, so I'm going to set it up as y plus 5 equals 8 and y plus 5 equals negative 8. I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides. Y equals 3. Oh, those canceled out. Those canceled out because they're additive inverses, you guys. The reason they cancel out is because they're additive inverses, and that's what you want. Y equals negative 13. So, did you check your answers? Of course you did, because you're in Miss Flurry's class, and that's what we're going to do. So let's check these answers to make sure we're correct. So, here we go. We're going to plug in 3 for y. And then we're going to plug in negative 13 for y. Always helps to check it. So, 3 plus 5 is 8. Negative 13 plus 5 is negative 8. Is the absolute value of 8 8? Yes, it is. Is the absolute value of negative 8 8? Yes, it is. So are our answers 3 and negative 13? Yes. Yes, they are. You guys, just take it slow. You've got this. I know you can. Don't rush it. So I think we've got it. Okay, let's see if I can get one more example in before I have to shut my video off. So we are going to do we're going to do 3a. So I have negative 2 negative 2 times the absolute value of 3a equals 6. So this goes right here. Now, just like anything else, you guys, you have to isolate the absolute value. So we're going to isolate it. In order to isolate it, I need to divide by that negative 2. So I'm going to divide by negative 2. Now I have the absolute value of 3a equals negative 3. Now, do you remember on the front page? On the front page, it says if the absolute value equals a negative number, it's never true. It's the empty set. You guys, there's nothing you can multiply by this 3 to get negative 3. Absolute value cannot equal a negative. So this is the empty set because you can't get something to equal negative 3. Well, we can do 3b as well. Let's just do this real quick. So the absolute value of 4b plus 1 plus 8 equals 0. I'm going to subtract 8 from both sides. I'm going to get the absolute value of 4b plus, did you guys see that I forgot the 1? Shh. Okay. Equals negative 8. You guys, you can't have a negative number. There isn't anything that's going to, you cannot get an additive inverse of 8 out of this. Absolute value never equals a negative number. So again, you guys, this answer is the null set or the empty set. And this terminology came from the front. It says empty set. This is how you denote empty set. We are going to have one more video. I know you love to watch them. 2 more problems, you guys, and then we've got this. Again, absolute value can never equal a negative number. So the absolute value of 3a will never give you a distance of negative 3. The absolute value of 4b plus 1 will never give you a distance of negative 8. So you can't go negative. Make sure you pause it, see if you guys can get it, and that's it. I'll give you one more video.